in since she is a good friend and she's beautiful and she deserves it. But I was happy that Rima won because I think it is going to bring great dialogue to our community, just like we have today. So
back to you, Hanan. As a Muslim involved in your community, and you probably read a lot of these stories, do you believe that Rima Fakih is a good role model for young Muslim Americans?
In certain aspects, I do, and others, no. In the aspect, as I mentioned before, and the fact that to reach the actual Miss USA pageant, it wasn't this is itself quite a hurdle, because if you study the pageant, how, the whole endeavor or effort to get to this point as she did, it's not one pageant, but multiple pageants that she had to go through. So it's a lot of hard work. What you see on TV, what you actually, when you watch the pageant, you don't realize how hard it was for her or those other contestants to attain or to get to that point. So I admire the fact, and I hope that her hard work is conveyed to other Muslim girls. However, if the U.S. pageant, because it requires, for instance, the bikini, the other aspects that are against our religion or the religion of Islam, that we are not to do that, that is not a good role model. I mean, if I had a daughter or for my sister, it wouldn't be something that they would do. But overall, I think the fact that how she conducted herself, how all her hard work, I hope that is also conveyed to the Muslim, or as other Muslim young ladies. I admire the fact that all the work she did to get to that point.
I agree with Hanan, and I think we need to differentiate between things. She is not a representative of either Islam or Arabism. She has not been elected by Muslims, by the Muslim community or by the Arab community. It was her choice. But whether we like it or not, people are going to look at her as a Muslim and as an Arab. So, the way that she's going to conduct herself, and she's going to conduct her mission or her duties as Miss USA for the coming year, is going to make all the difference.
Okay, back to you, Rima. Rima Fakih is not obviously a practicing Muslim. She is an Arab American. Dr. Gilad mentioned that this is a personal choice that she made, yet she's put in a position where she doesn't reflect in our community. Do you believe that she's in a tough position, or she has an opportunity to represent us?
I think with every challenge brings opportunity, and with every opportunity brings a challenge. And I think how she will respond to that will show her character. And hopefully she will take it to a positive light for us Arab Muslim Americans. So I definitely think it is a challenge, though, for one representative to represent such a large, diverse community. And I don't know if it's right to say she'll represent at all, because she doesn't. But to represent some is definitely a step forward to that.
Let me say this. Some in our community that can also end actually saying that it doesn't matter if she's going to put a positive spin or negative spin. The people who don't like us will not like us no matter what. Whether we're beautiful, we're intelligent, or not. They will label us and they will use that against us. How do you feel about this?
I think those who like us or not like us, their minds can be changed, and according to public opinion. If we look at how we perceive a president's role, and from day to day, the polls differ, according to his actions. So in terms of Rima, I think she can take her role as Miss USA and change even people among our own community. Those who like us will hopefully still like us as Arabs or Muslims or Arab Christians. Those who don't like us, they might change their mind. And some things you might say or some things you might do.
Well, in a sense, of course, as I said before, she could be a mobilizing agent. And mobilizing agent, somebody who's coming from a minority, she could be some kind of a voice to that minority within the majority group. But at the same time, she is neither elected or chosen by this minority, whether Muslims or Arab, and she was not even trained to do some kind of a job, and it's not within the stipulation of the pageant to do something like that. So she might do it, she might do something very negative. So
Yes.
we have to wait and see, and you shouldn't judge that. Well, it's a good thing that an Arab Muslim lady was chosen, but that choice, it has something within it. The choice, Lena said that it's not because of only beauty, but beauty is one of the main factors for the choice. And the other aspects, I think they are within some kind of a very general kind of questions and ideas about certain things. And I think there are a lot of pitfalls, and there are a lot of things that she's going to face, and that would affect her, her job or her performance within this year. I think we have to give her some kind of support, but at the same time, we have to delay our judgment. And we shouldn't raise that hopes that she is going to be a representative of the Arab woman or the Muslim woman in the United States.
Well, let me say this. Many Arab American organizations, especially Arab Americans and less Muslim American organizations, have already celebrated this win. And they have been sending emails, they have been already saying, oh, she volunteered with us here, she participated with us there, and still trying to create a link. So again, I had to emphasize that she is put in this position, not by choice, like you said, and she has to conduct herself as such. How is this going to affect the public look at Rima Fakih from this point on with this association?
Well, I think if she does positive, it'll take a long time to reach the American. If she does something negative, it's gonna go like that to us. It will reach us. It's like what happened with 9/11. Everybody felt it, even though most of us as Muslims or Arabs were against it. However, it's going to be a long time before we get out of this. All our positive work, it will take years before the American public in general will feel comfortable with us as a minority here. With Rima, I think if she takes on the role, and hopefully she will, but I agree with the professor that we have to reserve our judgment until we see how she conducts herself this coming year. But I'm hoping that she conducts herself very well and she takes the opportunity, as Nina said.
Well, some say that Miss USA pageant, and you mentioned this earlier, itself is a humiliation of a female personality or figure. And the female should be judged on more things than just the looks and a couple of questions or fitness work. Even though this is a general aspect of the question, but not only Muslims and Arabs are criticizing this, but many in the feminist movement, for example, don't like these kind of pageants. What's your thoughts on this?
You know, I'm torn on that question because the feminist part of me is saying, you know, they're parading women's bodies, they're objectifying themselves, they're allowing themselves to be critical, for other people to be critical of every piece of hair that they have, every, you know, their nails, their skin. I mean, to that, it objectifies them, and that's not fair. They stop thinking about the person, what's inside them, and their intellect and their spirit. They start looking at them just as an object, which is not good. On the other side of these pageant shows, there's that beautiful side of the sense of poise, I mean, it's a lot of training, it's a lot of work. It shows dedication, just like you would do with the athletes. I see the same